reservations for Thursday. I asked you 3 times. I'm beginning to sound like a crazy person.
I didn't hear you. Everything was vibrating.
No, you don't listen.
It sounded like the upstairs in Connecticut. I could hear the hogs filling up the basement. You can really get a sense of how the world began.
Did you call? Did you call?
Who?
How many times do you think that I should have to repeat the same thing?
What? I wasn't listening.
I have told you 3 different times, which is already one too many. Once upon a time, when everyone knew Dave is gay or carpy, Snow White always the wrong choices. Snow White never learns. Snow White, the necklace of skulls around my neck. You are the one who's crazy, not me.
All I know is I was in the other room.
Yes, in the other room, doing nothing. I have to handle everything. I'll pick up the world, vacuum underneath, so that you can sit in the chair and just stare out the window.
What do you want me to say?
You know, between you and your family, it is a continual struggle.
Oh, right, and your family is a real bunch of winners.
Helen died. You could have offered to pick up the comforter. I had to run to the hardware to get batteries.
Helen? I thought you only knew Helen through Judy.
What is that supposed to mean? Like Helen wasn't important to me?
You invoked this woman like she died on the cross.
Right. Bury him. Make reservations.
Tell me what you want to do.
You are beginning to sound like one of those wild animals that abandons at the very first sign of weakness.
Helen. Wasn't she the one whose father used to sell furniture on Cedar Lane? Or was that Sandy's friend?
Red page 95. And a motherfucker bang, bang, to be.
Oh no. Don't give me a hard time.
They called me and said you were here.
Never mind that, they overreact.
Oh yeah? Then why am I here?
I don't know. I was here, so what's the big deal?
Okay, fine, let's go.
In your voice, you're gonna make a big deal.
I didn't say anything.
I can hear it. The echoes of 8,000 years of nervous women. Jesus Christ. Concerned is the worst. No, look, never mind. I am a grown man. I just got tired. I gotta pee. Let's go look at some hawks. You know, there's a world beyond this world, and I've seen it. I saw it down by that black locust on 72nd Street, and it's like, it's really not here. It's like beyond the past, it's beyond the future. It's like a present, and pulsating and vibrating, and it's like, it's all there really is.
What happened?
It was like atoms rubbing together like rocks at the bottom of a waterfall.
What does it mean?
How do I know?
You can't act like the past doesn't exist. It's not just something buried under the floorboard, even if you don't think about it.
You're 100% wrong. The past exists only in your head. It could be ischemia. Everything slows down, and then after 10 seconds, the brains and the electrical systems, they all shut down, and then it's like beat the clock, and you get coma and brain damage, and there's you get into a situation where the cell waste gets stops getting broken down, and everything stops, and nothing is breaking down the brain's metabolic waste, and you get shit for brains, really.
Do they make you wait long?
Saw me right away, in and out, but then they tell you to go home and wait until you go blind in one eye or something clots.
Nothing happened?
Well, nothing to worry about. You just try not to hear words like cardiorespiratory arrest and moya disease.
What are the chances?
Well, chances aren't too bad. Much worse on your mother's side. They had very thin blood, you know. They were bleeders. The color red meant something much more important to your mother.
She had thin blood, they tested?
Sure, but that's so unusual. Some mistakes are made. You live with them the rest of your life. Stiltskin said, at the beginning you're socialized, and these are the foundational stones.
But if you see your problem, diagnose it.
Maybe, but those stones are so deep. You build your whole life around a personality. When they take away that lie, until you feel empty. For instance, like, do you remember how we used to tell you that we left Brutus up at that farm in Nyack?
I remember.
What's to say? I mean, who's to say that life is fair? Who? Yeah, right.
She had thin blood. That was it?
What can you do? Things are what they are. You eat some liver and you try to change things, but what can you really change?
People.
Oh, yeah, you like to think that when you're young.
People change all the time.
Well, yeah, right, but you know what? Change is like the veneer change. It's like a cycle, but when you're young, you don't understand that.
How can you tell?
How else do people think? What future can you see? What do you do when you get worried and scared and your guilt becomes malleable? It becomes potential energy, and then when the right catalyst arrives, the right movement, like a lightning rod, whack, kinetic energy, and some idiot is standing on a table. We never unpack.
This is what you do.
Well, we all need some culmination, some delusion to escape. To squeal like a match and then burn out, it's too much to face. That's why we're always running and people are always moving around and buzzing. And the end, I mean, who knows? It might not be the dogs or the black boots. It could be the guy in the ice cream truck or the kid who bags the groceries.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Some trees, no matter what, never bear good fruit. And you could talk about anything else but that.
Like who?
Gilly.
Who's Gilly?
He was very particular about some things, and he didn't care at all about others. He never had the right energy. Gilly.
Who's this?
Gilly, he's crazy. He was crazy. He was crazy. Especially toward the end, you'd see him walking along 57th Street with a Dwayne Reed bag and a portable radio, an hour in his kitchen, discussing industrial solutions of the 19th century, and then you would walk into his bathroom and the kitty litter was full of shit. I would say to him, Gilly, you got to clean up that kitty litter, and he didn't care. And I have that from two reputable gentlemen. They had a seance and he didn't even show up. Too busy. So, who's to say it isn't Gilly? Maybe Marty Osserman, who's a transfiguring spirit or something. I gotta pee.
Dad? 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 Dad?
Ha! You know, she does a whole lot of things that I never have to think about. I went straight from my mother to your mother, and I never had to learn how to cook, clean, or wash a dish, or sew a button, or anything. But her father was a very, very severe man. He had a cloven hoof and a tough ethic, and she always had to work very hard. And she still does. She's tireless. And she's up cleaning and, I don't know, dressing fancy and... Yeah, she does sleep, sometimes, but in patterns. I remember a couple nights in Nairobi that were like that. It comes on her in waves. I remember the Wairi talking about how the wildebeest wouldn't take water.
Well, what do they know?
She's tough, that's true, but it's partly an act. You just gotta tell her that, you gotta make her feel that she's won the argument. If she thinks she's right, then everything else falls into place.
You do that, and she'll never take her foot off your throat.
Well, you know, it's all about compromise. You gotta compromise. You think you gotta compromise with your best friend? You think you gotta compromise with Mickey Mouse? You gotta compromise with the hordes and the Cossacks. Prudent Hans, he compromised. Brothers.
Good evening. Dinner will be served in 20 minutes.
It's absurd, you know. I wrote a letter, I wrote 2 letters. I went down there, they moved. It's a gravity thing.
Worse other places.
Where?
Worse on Saturn.
How would you know?
It's true. Weather is terrible on Saturn.
Oh, maybe it's one of those things they let out to keep people away, like in Iceland, you know?
Okay.
Oh, you know, suddenly, because I have a problem with gravity here, suddenly it is worse on Saturn.
I made the gravity on Saturn worse so that I could make you wrong.
Amazing. I say something and suddenly you are an expert on outer space.
Yes, Saturn's the south of France.
I'm so sorry, I forgot. Nobody knows anything.
No. People with thatched roofs have all the answers, and before the ukulele, there was Minot.
Minot was a genius. He was a great discoverer of liver.
Liver's fool's gold. And what the ukulele don't know about blood could fill Madison Square Garden.
Liver has more protein and, oh, again I forgot, it's all about glands.
Why don't you go argue with your buddy Harvey Fetterbush, Mr. Endogenous Mammalian?
I didn't hear that.
You don't hear anything you don't want to hear. You're like Nixon tapes. From here to there. What happened?
What do you want me to say? I forgot? So? So, what did it say?
I don't know. But don't you see it's a problem?
It happens when you get older. What do you want me to do?
Fine, nothing.
I can't stop the world.
But what happened to my happily ever after?
That wasn't the vow. He didn't say that. He said till death.
You see? You see what I'm dealing with here? That's always his side.
And as for Harvey Fetterbush, all I remember is you saying, why would anybody cook crab meat for dinner? Why would anybody serve crab cakes? Why would anybody force everybody to eat nothing but crab cakes? That's all I remember.
Well, who does assume that everybody eats crab?
Well, there was that woman, that lady in Montepulciano, the one who served giant bowls of squid and oysters and ham.
Every good thing has 5 evil sons.
Well, I'm not going to blame myself for everything.
Fine.
She's just upset about Helen dying, and I'm glad because it gives her something to think about.
What did she die of?
People die, it happens.
All kinds of things happen. That doesn't mean anything.
Her picture's up at the den.
Whose?
Helen, you remember Helen?
No, who is she?
Oh, she used to come around here a couple times. She was married to that manufacturer, the beeswax perfume. He had a factory in Williamsburg next to the bottler.
I don't know.
Well, maybe you don't. But anyway, she has to find something to obsess about from week to week. And this week, it's this.
She's twisted.
Oh, don't worry too much about it. You know, let me tell you a story. A couple days ago, I was sitting in the den and my whole body became paralyzed. I couldn't move anything. And I thought, holy shit, this is the stroke I've been waiting for and fearing for years. And this black cloud came over my eyes, and this black landscape and this black desert, it was all black. And there was a whole world of black inside my forehead. And then you know what? I got it. My leg had fallen asleep.
I had to put in an order for a blood sink and a cloven ram because Roberta has to go to Orchard Bay to see poor Leon.
Is that the guy with erythema?
They don't know what it is. They think it might be oleander sickness.
That's what I tell you. You gotta get this stuff handled early.
You say that, but then what happens?
What? I fell asleep. Those kids overreacted. They don't know how to deal with anybody that doesn't look and act exactly the way they do. They cannot talk with people our age. They are pod people. And for some reason, I was watching their games over and over and over again for hours, and I got hypnotized by them, I guess, and just sort of fell asleep.
How do you think that makes me feel? I mean, I have to worry every single time you walk out the front door.
I carried that sofa across the street.
You moved a sofa?
Of course, to clean the lining, yeah, of course I did.
You had to?
Of course, we had to take it in the street. And,
Really? And when was that?
What do you try? Last year.
No, it was fall 4 years ago.
Oh no.
It was fall 4 years ago when your brother bought the whaler.
No.
Oh, unbelievable.
Don't overreact.
Oh, I won't do anything. I mean, I won't do anything because you don't do anything. I'll just trudge along and crawl into a sarcophagus like Tutankhamun III.
What do you want me to do? Hunt for blood? Build a house out of cookies?
Oh, stop it! You're just acting ridiculous.
Why is it so cold in here?
The air conditioning is for her pants. Air conditioning in November.
You have to wear a sweater to the bathroom.
You're not happy unless it's like Peru with the walls dripping.
Fine, right.
Well, there are no fruit flies.
Who can survive at this temperature? Neanderthal man.
It's comfortable. Besides, viruses grow in heat.
I would like some more vodka, please.
In the den closet.
And bring some vermouth. For something?
I took a nap.
What, now you just sleep wherever, like some kind of junk?
Is anybody else here? Theodore Roosevelt was a taxidermist.
What's that supposed to mean?
You think he stopped there?
Not everyone can ride horses. And there's not enough time to hide under bridges. And I have to be here all the time. Is this the world that you wanted?
How do you have to be here all the time?
Oh, I see. I don't do enough.
I think you're the queen. Selfish. I'd buy you a broom.
Aren't you the one that cried for 2 weeks about going to see the tap dance kid? And then what happened?
You always bring this
What
up.
happened?
You always
What
bring.
happened?
You always.
What happened?
Always do this!
A window to the soul. I just lift my leg over. Window to the soul. In the middle of a tornado. A spinning rain. Drip, drip, dripping on the window pane. Floodwaters rolling in. Little rabbits, chipmunks, and chirping birds stuck in cages watching the water come in. Fear, limits of fear, panicking, scratching, digging their little nails into the cement.
for dessert. Will says that if she gives the Frog King a human liver, that he can reduce my cholesterol by 50%. Does that sound right?
I don't know. Ask your accountant.
I gotta call back that guy.
Since you didn't eat your dinner, you can take that home. Oh, and by the way, I saw the charges you made on the Visa account. You know your father's not the Baron Rothschild.
Ha!
Who do you think you are, you nitwit? Oh, perfect! You don't think I see her? You don't think I see her checking the bags under her eyes? I'll leave her. I'll kill all her friends and I'll leave her. But I still have her heart! And if you try to take it, I'll stick a fucking comb in your head.
Gideon? I only dance for you, Gideon.
You don't think their fruit is always soft?
I don't know. They have the best deals.
I know, but those raspberries, 2 for $1, they're lousy.
Why, where do you go?
Oh, I don't know. For fruit, or with fish, or meat, anything fresh. Well,
The initial steps.
Hazeza's sister.
and
Can you
Helen,
believe it?
I just spoke to her the day before yesterday.
I'm still in shock.
She was talking about going back to Acapulco. Back to the cliff diver. She was gonna cliff dive.
How old was she?
87. 87, and the next day,
She was a sport.
shock. The son is broke. He's falling apart. They've got him on drugs. The whole thing's a disaster. It's a complete disaster. And tell me, does anybody even care?
The mothers of the hilltop have gathered. The sustaining force of the universe is the mothers. The Alpha and Omega, the creative principle. From it proceeds everything that has life and form on the surface of the earth. Everything that ceases to breathe is returned to the mothers as spiritual nature, and they reserve it until there arises occasion for its renewed existence. All souls and forms that have been or will be hover about as clouds in the vast space of their abode. Helen Fetternick has entered our spheres, chilled by the weight of the shadow that hangs over our heavy hearts. It was the last thing the Lord said to Joan of Arc. Always leave them laughing, Joan. Passion takes us out of time, and in it we become more alive. Their God is dour. Our God does not cry over spilt milk. Nothing is real that is not eternal. Take everything in stride, for everything breaks. The Lord created the world, and half the time it breaks on nothing. As it is above, so it is below. Dishes break in sinks, plastic latches snap, metal rusts, batteries corrode, and blood runs.
I think she was talking about me. That thing about the milk. I think she was trying to get me.
I'm getting paranoid.
I heard about Helen. The first thing I thought was, when are they coming to my door?
They only come to your door when you're a threat.
You're right. That's the problem. I'm not enough of a threat. People like me, they fall through the cracks, disappear, and nobody even notices.
Think about dinner reservations. That's what I do. I make reservations, a towering mountain in my mind that even the sun can't shine over.
See this? Ugh. Last week, I don't know where I was. I come home, open the refrigerator, and there's a bag of cherries in the fruit drawer. A whole bag of cherries I bought, and I look inside, and they've all gone bad. I couldn't believe it. I completely forgot I had a whole bag of cherries in the drawer, and I let them all go bad.
It passes.
Oh, to hell with that crap. That's something stupid my idiot stepdaughter would say.
What can you do?
I know why that bitch said that. And all that crap about milk and cherries and all the other crap was just poison in my eye. What have I become? Cherries are $7.49 a pound.
Something to take the edge off?
Yes.
I know just the place to break into. Come on down, they're gone.
That's what you always say, and that it's fire escape city.
It's gonna be fine. Okay, wait there. Ta-da! Couldn't find the top. I don't know where they put it. Oh, shit. One more thing. Olives. Olives. I move anywhere I want. I sleep anywhere I want. How? Instincts. I trust my instincts.
Sometimes I think all my instincts lead me to exactly the wrong place.
I don't worry. I'm not a worrier. It's bad for your health. Causes heart disease. I mean, I might be sleeping in your house tomorrow. I'm just saying, right? They put all the odds on the board, and I don't give a fuck. I act like I own the place.
Where is propriety?
Too negative. I mean, we're all stuck here without instructions. I mean, watching my family, it's like watching some idiot trying to climb up a dirt mountain. I could write a song. I should probably write a song about the time my aunt tried to have me locked up for passing out in Eddie Green's Malibu.
Just because something's unpleasant to touch and unpleasant to feel doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Exactly. I mean, otherwise, we would have never even sent a man to the moon.
I feel like it's wrong to not take things. In some countries, that's considered a transgression.
You know, I was in this house the other day and they had 2 freezers.
Sometimes I
They
think,
had a lot of just right shit.
sometimes I feel like someone's watching me. You know that feeling you have when someone's staring at you from across the room in the back of your head? Thought it was a camera or something. I saw the smoke alarm with the red light, and I hid it in my closet.
Hey, listen, if you want to get revenge, I got your answer.
Don't overreact.
You know, Lilith, your phone is ringing.
I know!
Still ringing, Lilith.
I know it's still ringing! Oh!
Lilith.
I've got it, okay? Hello?
What's the funny thing?
What?
Idiot! Shut up! I hear you. I hear you all the time. You can't keep threatening me. Don't you know who I am?
Moynihan phrased it. I gave the people back their morale. You have to get people to follow you. And I think a reticent personality, quite private.
Is that Ed Koch?
But I realized that
Yes,
did
I
not do the
made
job.
a
And so I became far more on stage, to the point where I recall saying, if you follow me, I will lead you across the desert.
The world is hard and material. The world is perfect. You can make a weapon out of anything. Everything with order is just hiding its chaos. Don't be like Francis.
How could you let me sleep? It's almost noon. Well?
What?
Oh. What are you doing?
I'm getting some of these papers organized, old papers.
You're using that stapler?
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, it's like, you know, it's to describe it as, it doesn't sound right because it sounds contradictory, but I noticed that atoms never touch, but everything is somehow connected. It's kind of a miracle.
You know who I think is trying to kill me?
Ron Charner, the obstetrician on 78?
No, Denise. Do you remember Denise? She worked with my sister at Gimbel's. Why don't you use the paper stapler?
It's out of staples.
Well, then go down and get some more.
Oh, would you? Look, it is a big hassle to go out, and then they're always out of staples, and then you gotta walk all over the city for staples, and by the time you're finished, nothing gets done.
Well, there are going to be staples everywhere.
They're not getting everywhere.
The world is hard and material. The world is perfect. You can make a weapon out of anything. You can string a cat's tendon or a dog's thigh. You can crack a knee with a thick stone. Everything should be simple and direct. And everything with order is just hiding its chaos.
I was in this supermarket and I thought it'd be nice to come by and tell you that I know how things have been for you. I see you walking through life like some kind of stone zombie, as if that could save you.
Who's looking to be saved?
We all are, darling. We all feel that somehow we've been cursed. There are times when you feel as if your words are falling on deaf ears. That your very own father doesn't hear a single word you're saying. It must feel like you are who you are before you even open your mouth.
Look who's talking.
It's your words that fall on deaf ears. It's every room you enter, every person you meet. Spiel rot. Like the water and the tide that's gently rising. And the little chipmunks. Paragon of beauty.
Coming. Oh, woke me up out of a sound sleep. I gotta get up at 6:45, and I always get up 3 times a night. That means that it's 10:48 now. I gotta get up at 2:48, and then 5:48, and then, oh God, 57 minutes after that, I gotta get up at 6:45, and...
What's to be gained? That's the end. Once they hit 30, it's what? A dwarf. A dwarf is a grown man with guilt.
A dwarf can be uncomplicated, like a mind in a glass box.
A dwarf is a man who has yet to master his guilt, to face his own guilt.
A dwarf is just another person looking for a mother.
So I said, keep drinking.
Maybe you'll discover a personality. Even when he drinks, he's boring.
Nina, they have the central database now. They told me they had my song. You know, a lot of minds have been radicalized by having nothing better to do.
That's nice. At the least, you should bury one of his teeth. I did already.
Good for you.
Yeah.
He's a catastrophist. He's a mess. Have you heard of the shock methods?
No, but I have friends with kids who swear by fire and burning buildings. But I guess it's no trick, hypnotizing an idiot.
The universe is filled with all possible beings. And the mothers are the leveling force.
Now what the hell is this?
Wickedness sleeps at the bottom of the well. Her heartbeat an earthquake. She cries in the night, and we feed on her tears. It is an unchanging cosmic law that we can only attract those events, people, or situations for which there exists parallels inside of us.
Now what the hell do you think that means?
It means that bitch Snow White is trying to kill me. This is she?
She's fair.
Yes, I've heard.
I'll tell you, just looking at these pictures, she's nice. She's got a full figure. I mean,
She's fair.
Listen, I don't want to throw good money after bad. Are you sure you
no, of course.
Good.
It's not going to be a problem.
Because there isn't enough turkey this year, so she can't come to Thanksgiving.
I understand.
Are you sure you can handle this?
Yes. Should I take pictures of her for a couple of days?
Pictures? No. What the hell do I want with pictures?
I mean, to know something?
I know what I need to know. Just find her and take care of it.
Okay.
Redbird, bluebird, how does it feel to be obsolete? All the birds in the skies obsolete.
Hello?
Take to the air! Fly!
Wow. Oh, it's late.
Fly! Fly, my pretties!
I wish you could have called me earlier to tell me.
Fly! Fly! Fly!
Yeah. I'll just get a few things together.
I will not be forsworn!
What's that?
Nothing.
You want what?
Nothing.
What did you say? Something happened?
Nothing happened.
Then what were you yelling about?
I wasn't yelling.
You what?
I wasn't yelling!
Okay.
Hate is a world thrown in your face by a precocious child. Hate is more beautiful. Hate is 1,000 times hate for the hate she has.
Hi. I went to the wrong address. People go to the wrong address. No, what could happen? Everybody screws up. I don't screw up all the time.
You wouldn't believe. Lilith. You fell asleep.
No, I didn't.
Oh, how can you say you didn't? I just walked in, there you were asleep.
I wasn't asleep, Arthur.
Okay. Sorry I missed you. By accident, I went to Staten Island. There's almost no food on that ferry. The whole boat smells like popcorn.
Who are you?
There was a leak.
What?
There's a flow problem with your back washer, and your pipes are overflowing internally. It's a leak.
What's wrong with your hand? Your voice is weird. Your voice is weird. You sound bad. Like you have a hole in your throat. You sound like a ghost. I guess I don't really have a good sense of things. My father used to say that. He used to say, when I was born, a queen died. He used to wait up for her. He used to think that I could hear her in the darkness. Used to hear the pipes and the wood settle on the top floor. And then I heard something in the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom door and I looked inside of it in the darkness, and I waited to hear something. And I held my breath, and I flipped the switch, and then that moment when the light comes on and everything is light, and your eyes have to adjust. And in the center of the bathroom floor, this golden black with its legs in the air. I went into my stepmother's room, and I got a stiletto heel, long enough to stab it with it, if it was still alive. She heard me. I thought she'd be mad, but she was calm. She found a box. She said, "Isn't this better?" And we trapped the thing in the box. It was like a game. And we took it down to the kitchen. We wrapped it in brown construction paper. And then we took it down to the mailbox. And she said, "We'll send it to the land of horrible things. Some things are too horrible to have around, like rats or diseases. But they have to go somewhere. And it's wrong to kill a living thing, isn't it? So we'll send it to the land of horrible things."
If it's real, you should make it fake. And if it's fake, you should make it real. It's spatial and vestibular, related to the disturbed function in the cerebral cortex at the junction of the temporal and parietal lobes.
It's like a stone has been removed from my heart.
The dawn is here! Schmuck.
Good evening, Mother.